There's a few really big problems when it comes to summer makeup. One of them being it doesn't withstand the heat and the sweat and it just melts right off your face. I don't know about you, but I like my makeup to last a good minimum 8 to 12 hours. That's what I like. The second problem I noticed with summer makeup is it often looks too heavy, too overdone, and for me personally, I like my makeup in the summer to look very natural, very fresh, and very vibrant. Basically, I want my skin and my face to look perfect without it being obvious that I'm wearing a ton of makeup. The third issue is I don't want to be spending all day long doing my makeup in the summer. I want to be outside, enjoying the day, enjoying the sunshine, and so this makeup look only takes me about 10 to 15 minutes to do, and it checks all the other boxes that I mentioned before. It's long wearing and it doesn't look too heavy. If you want to know how to do this makeup look, I walk you through every single product and technique that I use, and I explain every step of the way. So if you want to get the perfect long wearing summer makeup, keep on watching. One of the first problems that I think of when it comes to summer makeup is your base makeup melting off, your base makeup looking cakey, looking heavy. And when it's the summertime, honestly, you don't really want to wear a lot of makeup, but you still want your skin to look good and perfect, right? So I did find a sort of combination that I think works really good for the summer. It looks really good, but it also lasts a long time too and wears well in the heat. So step one is obviously to moisturize well and apply the sunscreen of your choice. My favorite sunscreen is the Kosas sunscreen. I will link it down below if you want to check it out. I just love that one so much. But once you've done your skincare and all that good stuff, you're gonna wanna go in with a skin tint. Today I'm using the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Gel Tint in the shade 2. I really love skin tints and I have found that this one lasts a very long time. It's got a thin gel-like consistency, but because of the grippiness of this product, it really lasts a long time throughout the summer days. And I'm just applying this in a very thin layer over my entire face. I like to smooth it out with my finger first before going in with a brush because I find that it gets a little bit less streaky and it kind of disperses the product a little bit more evenly. I'll link the brush I'm using down below as well. I particularly like this skin tint because of its thin gel-like consistency, but it does have a grippiness that makes it last all day long, even in the heat. This one layers well on top of makeup, on top of sunscreen. It doesn't pill, it doesn't look heavy, but it does give me a good amount of coverage where it makes my skin look quite perfected without it looking like I'm wearing a lot of makeup, which is ideal for these summer months. You can use any skin tint you want for this step, but particularly this is one of the most long wear skin tints that I've tried, so I recommend this one. So really quickly, why pick a skin tint over a foundation for the summer? In my opinion, you can add the coverage in later with a concealer, which is what we are going to do. But I also really just think if you can find a long wearing skin tint, because sometimes skin tints don't really last the longest. If you can find a long lasting one, I really do think that skin tints give you more of that summery, natural skin-like effect that just seems to last better as well in the summer heat. Foundations, I don't know, in my opinion, they tend to like curdle, they sit a little heavier on the skin. When it's summertime, you want your skin to kind of be the highlight, you know? I'm gonna add some dimension to my face using the Westman Atelier Face Trace Contour Stick in the shade Biscuit. I like to enhance my cheekbones with this product, and I also like to have a little bit of it on the outskirts of my forehead. It sort of warms up the face a little bit, makes my forehead appear a little bit smaller. I also put a little bit on the sides of my nose. This is just gonna enhance my facial structure while giving me a little bit of warmth. This contour stick is not too cool, but it's also not too warm and too orange. It's a nice happy medium in my opinion. It also blends out really easy, which is huge for me. I find a lot of contours are hard to blend out and then you spend so long blending them away. I don't want to do that when I'm in a rush, so I like this one. Okay, so this next step is sort of optional. Okay, blush isn't optional for summer makeup. Blush is a must for summer makeup, but the kind of blush you use, let me walk you through the two sort of types that I like to gravitate to. What I'm going to be using today is a blush stain. This is what I whip out when I need my makeup to last all day long. Even if I'm going to the beach or if I'm swimming or something like that, sweating, I use a blush stain because it's gonna last all day long. It's not going to fade off. It's gonna look good for as long as I need it to. Whereas on a regular summer day, honestly, if I don't need my makeup to last super, super long, maybe I'm just kind of having more of a chill day, I'll wear a cream blush instead of a blush stain. But for the sake of this video, since the focus is quick, long wear makeup, I'm gonna show you one of my favorite blush stains. This is by Milk Makeup. This is their Cooling Water Jelly Tint in the shade Fizz. This is a really pretty peachy shade. And let me just show you how I use this because it can be a little bit finicky. The thing about blush stains is once they're on there, they don't move. They're there to stay. So I do one cheek at a time, keynote. I'm gonna apply it right from the little stick. I'm going to just put that on my cheek, about that much. If I want to build up, I can build up, but I go immediately in with a brush and blend this out because these can be a little bit hard to blend out, especially the longer you leave them to dry down. So the sooner you can blend it out, the better. I don't recommend wasting any time with these. And that's what one layer of that shade looks like. Very pretty, flush to the cheeks, and I promise you this does not come off, like it's on there. But if you want to add a little bit more, I can show you it's really easy to layer. You can do one layer if you want, especially if you're in a rush, but if you want to do two, this is more so what it'll look like. All right, and that's what 2 layers of that blush looks like. A really nice flush of color. They do come in a bunch of different shades. They have like reds and berries. I'm gonna link this blush down below if you need a long-lasting blush, but I'm gonna go ahead and do the other cheek really quick. I've heard a few people complain about this blush being a little bit hard to blend, but I really think it does depend what you wear underneath. I find this pairs really good with the Milk Skin Tint. I don't find this product to be the best with heavy foundations and stuff like that. If you have a thin, hydrating base, I think you're good, and obviously if you blend it out right away, you're good. I like to put a little bit on my nose too for more of a sunburnt effect. Since this blush is so thin in consistency, it almost looks like it's coming from within. It doesn't look like it's sitting on top of your face, which I love for summer makeup. So since we have most of the face done, now's the time that I'm gonna go in with concealer, because I feel like if I do concealer before these steps, I end up going in with a bit too much of a heavy hand. So today I'm going in with the Maybelline Superstay Activewear Concealer. This is the most long-wearing concealer that I have ever tried in my life, and it's from the drugstore. I'm just gonna put a little bit of this under my eyes, a little bit on my eyelids, and then just on any areas where I want a little bit more coverage, a little bit more brightness. I'm really keeping it dialed back. Okay, so the base for the most part is done. We want it to lock in place just like this. This usually takes me about 5 minutes or so to do. At this stage, it's really important to go in with a setting spray. I always go in with setting spray before powder. Sometimes if I have a little bit of extra time, I will do my setting spray sandwiching technique, which I talk about in my makeup hacks video. I'll put that on the screen if you want to check it out. But if I'm in a rush, I just kind of want to stick with one. So I have 2 options that I would recommend. This one is the One Size On Till Dawn setting spray. This is from Sephora. It's a little bit pricier, but this makes your makeup waterproof and it does not budge. If you're looking for something a little bit more affordable that basically does the same thing, I really recommend the L'Oreal Infallible 3-Second Setting Mist. This one is honestly just as good. They're both very heavy-duty setting sprays, but they do the job. I'm gonna go ahead and use the L'Oreal one today. Moving on to eyes, I like to keep it pretty simple when it comes to summer eye makeup. I do want to go with something a little bit warmer than what I usually do. I usually like cool tones, but in the summer I do kind of like to bust out the warmer tones. I have been loving these Dayzique palettes lately. This is their little 9-pan eyeshadow palette. This one is in the shade 11 Chocolate Fudge. And this palette really has everything you need. It has light mattes to deep mattes, and then it has a few shimmer shades if you're into shimmer shadows. This is great, and the formulas are amazing. I'm gonna pick up this shade here for my crease color today. I'm using a fluffy Rephr 15 brush. I'm just gonna sweep that really softly and diffuse that all along my crease to give my eyes a little bit of warmth and a little bit of definition. This brush makes it so easy to blend your crease shade. This literally took me like 30 seconds. What we do on the top, we're gonna do on the bottom, taking that exact same shade on a Rephr 14 little fluffy brush. I'm gonna blend that along my lower lash line. And honestly, that's pretty much all I do for eyes, except for this one little thing that I love to add to all my summer eye makeup looks. I'm taking my Dior Backstage Glow Face Palette in the shade Universal, and I'm just picking up this white highlighter shade. And I'm gonna place that right in the inner corner of my eyes. I just feel like this completes the eye look. It brings so much attention to the eyes and makes the eyes look way more awake. This next step is optional, but I do really like to add this as well. I like to go in with my Swede Bright Satin Kohl eyeliner, and I like to apply this only in the center of my waterline. This also does a similar effect as the inner corner highlight. It makes the eyes look bigger, brighter, more awake. And this eye pencil isn't a stark white. Sometimes a white can look too creepy and doll-like. This one actually looks so natural. So the mascara I'm using in today's tutorial is something I may or may not be working on. It is a brown mascara. Where are my brown mascara girlies at? This is one of the longest lasting mascaras that I have ever tried. My lashes have also never looked better than with this formula. It makes my lashes look very full and long without looking clumpy and heavy, which I definitely want to avoid for a summer eye makeup look. No sweat, humidity, tears, water is gonna take this mascara off your lashes. Once you put this mascara on, it's not coming off until you remove it. Like I said earlier, this is a true brown mascara. I don't know about y'all, but I really don't like when I pick up a brown mascara and it basically just looks black. I want a true brown mascara, and this is what this is giving. I'm so happy with the color. If you guys like the way this made my very non-impressive, by the way, lashes. I have short lashes, but whenever I wear this mascara, I always catch myself looking in the mirror being like, ooh, my lashes look good. I don't know if any of you can relate to this, but mascara can low-key make or break your entire makeup look. I'm the same way with concealers. I'm very picky about these products. Like, my lashes are gonna look like this until the end of the day. It doesn't matter what I'm doing during the day, they're gonna look like this. I'm very proud of this formula. If you wanna get on the wait list for when this product comes out, I'm gonna put a link down below where you can sign up and be notified. I'm obviously gonna be coming out with a black as well, so if you don't like brown, that's okay. We've got a black, but yeah, stay tuned for that. Anyways, moving right along to lips, this next step is optional. It's not really optional for me. I never skip this step, but if you have already full, juicy, luscious lips, you might not need to do this. I'm going in with the Fenty Beauty Traced Out Pencil Lip Liner in the shade Peanut Butter, and I'm just ever so slightly overlining my Cupid's bow and the center of my lower lip. I'm not going crazy with the lip liner. I'm just doing a really quick overline just to enhance my lips and make them look more full. This lip liner lasts all day long. If you want a drugstore alternative, the Maybelline lifter liners are pretty much the same thing. Oh, lip liner is my one thing that makes me feel so put together. Even when I'm wearing super minimal makeup, I always wear lip liner. For my lip color, I'm gonna use the same stain that I used on my cheeks on my lips. This also just lasts forever, and the stain looks so pretty on the lips. I can't even tell you why. I just love the way this looks on the lips. You can apply as much or as little as you want. You can kind of layer it up. This almost gives you like popsicle lips, which I really love. This wouldn't be a summer makeup look without a juicy lip gloss, okay? So I'm going in with my Cheris Cosmetics Water Gloss. This is my makeup brand. And if you're looking for glass lips, this is the gloss for you. The way this applicator applies the gloss is literally like a sheet of glass on your lips, and it feels like a cool glass of water on your lips. It's very, very slightly cooling. It smooths out the lips really nicely. I always have this gloss on me. It is a staple for the summertime. I'm sorry, is this not the prettiest lip combo you've ever seen? And it's not gonna fade off. Oh, it is so good. To finish this look, we're gonna go in with a little bit of powder, and you have to be strategic about your powder when you want your makeup to last a long time. For under the eyes, I'm going in with a brightening powder. This one is by PatMcGrath. This is their Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Blurring Under Eye Powder in the shade Baby Pink. And I'm just picking that up on a puff and very lightly setting my under eyes. This is gonna brighten, make me look more fresh, more awake, but also keep that concealer very much so locked in place. It's gonna extend the wear a little bit, but to be honest with you, there's a lot of times where I actually haven't set this concealer, and weirdly, it like doesn't crease on me. I'm telling you, this is the longest wearing concealer ever, and it is a drugstore concealer. It's so freaky, but I do like to add a little bit of powder because why not? And then for the rest of my face, I like to use something a little more heavy duty, especially for my oily girls out there. This powder is really, really good for you. This is the Makeup Forever HD setting powder. I'm using the shade Light Vanilla, and I just dumped a little bit in my cap. I'm gonna pick that up on a powder brush, and I'm just gonna lightly tap that anywhere I get oily just to control the oil production in that area, prevent my makeup from separating, and give me a little bit more of a matte finish. A little bit of this powder goes a long way. You have no need to be heavy-handed. And the very last thing I like to do is add a little bit of glow. This is one of my favorite highlighters. This is the one I used earlier. It's the Dior Backstage Face Glow Palette, and I'm using the white shade again. I'm just applying this to the high points of my cheeks and a little bit on my nose to add a really nice, juicy looking glow. This isn't a glittery highlighter. It's more pearlescent, looks very natural. If I don't need my makeup to last a really long time, I'll use a cream highlighter, but for when I need my makeup to last, a powder really is the way to go, but it can be really hard to find a natural looking one. So that's why I like this one. And that's it for my go-to quick, easy, long-wearing summer makeup look. I feel like this is a very universally flattering makeup. Anyone can do it, and it just looks so good, so healthy, so vibrant. If you enjoyed this tutorial, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Most of you are not subscribed, but it only takes 2 seconds and it helps me out so much. My last video was all about how to achieve the perfect bridal makeup on a budget using all drugstore products. So if you haven't checked that out, check that out now. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.